ho, ho, ho. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Story Time by Santa. Sit back, relax, and enjoy these wonderful stories that Santa is going to read to you, your family members, and your children. I hope you have a wonderful time. And if you like, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Santa loves you. Ho, ho, ho. Enjoy.
The Christmas Eve Blizzard. It was the night before Christmas and all was calm and quiet. At the North Pole, Santa's elves had finished making the toys, the reindeer were ready to fly, and Santa himself was checking his list one last time. The excitement in the air was palpable. As everybody prepared for the most magical night of the year, Santa's journey to deliver presents to children all over the world. But as Santa stepped outside to harness the reindeer to the sleigh, something unexpected happened. The wind began to howl, and thick snowflakes swirled through the air. Before long, the North Pole was engulfed in a fierce snowstorm, a blizzard so strong that the sky turned white and the stars disappeared. "Oh no, Santa!" exclaimed as he stared out into the storm. "This blizzard is worse than I expected. I won't be able to see anything out there." The elves looked at one another worried. How could Santa deliver presents if he couldn't even see the rooftops? Rudolph, the youngest of the reindeer, stepped forward with his glowing red nose shining brightly through the snow. "I can help, Santa," he said, his nose casting a warm red glow in the frosty air. "I'll guide us through the blizzard." Santa smiled kindly at Rudolph, but he knew the storm was too powerful even for Rudolph's bright nose. "Thank you, Rudolph," Santa said, "but this storm is too strong. We need a different plan." The elves huddled together, trying to come up with the ideas. Time was ticking, and Christmas morning was drawing closer with every passing minute. Just then, a small voice piped up from the back of the workshop. It was a young elf named Lucy. She was one of the newest elves and didn't usually speak up during big meetings, but this time she had an idea. "Santa," Lucy said, stepping forward nervously, "I think I know what we can do." Everybody turned to Lucy to look at Lucy, curious about what she had to say. Santa knelt down beside her, his eyes twinkling with encouragement. "Go ahead, Lucy," Santa said. "What's your idea?" Lucy took a deep breath. "The northern lights," she exclaimed. "They shine so brightly even through the darkest storms. If we can find a way to harness their light, we can guide the sleigh through the blizzard." The elves murmured excitedly. It was an interesting idea, but how could they harness the northern lights? They were far up in the sky, swirling in shades of green, pink, and purple. Santa's eyes lit up. "Lucy, that's a brilliant idea," he said, "but we'll need help to bring the northern lights down to guide us." Suddenly, Santa knew just the creatures who could help. The Arctic snow owls, who lived high in the North Pole's mountains, were known for their wisdom and connection to natural magic of the land. If anybody could help harness the northern lights, it would be them. Without wasting any time, Santa called on his team of his fastest elves to visit the snow owls and ask for their aid. Lucy was chosen to go with them, and she felt both excited and a little nervous. As they trekked through the snowy mountains, the blizzard howled around them, but Lucy kept the hope of Christmas alive in her heart. Finally, they reached the snowy peaks where the owls nested. The largest of the owls, an ancient white owl named Elder Frostfeather, swooped down to meet them. "Why have you come to us on this stormy night?" Elder Frostfeather asked in his deep, wise voice. Lucy stepped forward. "Elder Frostfeather, we need your help. There is a terrible blizzard, and Santa won't be able to deliver presents unless we find a way to light the way through the storm. We were hoping you could help us harness the northern lights." The elder owl gazed at Lucy, his golden eyes gleaming. "You have a kind and brave heart, young elf. The northern lights are a powerful force, but with your belief in the magic of Christmas, I believe we can help you." With that, Elder Frostfeather let out a long echoing call that rang through the snowy peaks. Soon, dozens of snow owls appeared, their wings flapping silently as they gathered in the sky. Together, they flew higher and higher, soaring towards the swirling northern lights that danced across the stormy sky. Lucy watched in awe as the owls circled the shimmering lights, their feathers glowing in the colors of the aurora. Slowly the northern lights began to descend, guided by the owl's magic. The sky filled with radiant beams of color that cut through the darkest of the storm, illuminating the light. Back at the North Pole, Santa and the elves looked up in wonder as the northern lights glowed brilliantly, lighting up the entire sky. The blizzard no longer seemed so frightening, with the brilliant lights guiding the way. Lucy and the elves returned just in time, and Santa was ready to go. With the northern lights shining above and the snow owls flying alongside the sleigh, Santa climbed aboard. "Ho, ho, ho!" Santa called out with joy. "It's time to deliver Christmas." The reindeer took off into the sky, flying through the storm as the northern lights lit their way. The blizzard roared on, but with the magic of the northern lights guiding them, Santa and his team flew across the world, delivering gifts to children everywhere. By the time Christmas morning arrived, the storm had passed and the North Pole was peaceful once again. Santa returned home, his sleigh empty and his heart full. He called Lucy forward and placed a small glowing crystal in her hand, a piece of the northern lights, as a reminder of her bravery and her belief in the magic of Christmas. "You saved Christmas, Lucy," Santa said. "Never forget that even the smallest voice can make the biggest difference when it comes from the heart." And from that day on, whenever the elves faced a challenge or a problem they seemed too big, they remembered Lucy's bravery and the lesson she taught them all. That belief in the magic of Christmas and in each other can light the way even in the darkest of storms. The end. Now here's your life lesson. The story teaches children that even the smallest and quietest among us can make a big difference when we speak up and believe in ourselves. Lucy's idea helped save Christmas, showing that bravery, kindness, and believing in the magic of the season can overcome even the toughest of challenges. Wow! Wasn't that awesome? Here's number 2, The Reindeer Who Saved Christmas. It was a Christmas Eve at the North Pole, and the excitement in the air was electric. The elves were bustling in the workshop, putting the final touches on the toys. The reindeer were getting ready for their big flight, and Santa was preparing his list. checking it twice, of course. Among the reindeer team, everyone was eager for the night ahead. Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen were all huddled together, stretching and preparing their powerful legs for the long journey across the world. At the edge of the stable stood a young reindeer named Jasper. He wasn't part of Santa's main team, at least not yet. Jasper had dreamed of pulling Santa's sleigh ever since he was a fawn, but he had never been given the chance. Maybe next year, Jasper whispered to himself with a sigh. He loved Christmas more than anything, but no one seemed to notice his quiet determination or his wish to help. Suddenly, as the final preparations were being made and Santa was getting ready to board the sleigh, a loud crack echoed through the stable. One of the harnesses snapped, sending Blitzen tumbling into the snow. Santa rushed over to check on him, but Blitzen winced in pain. His ankle was twisted and there was no way he could fly that night. "Oh dear," Santa said as his brows furrowing in concern. "Blitzen's hurt. We won't be able to fly the sleigh without all 9 reindeer. Christmas is in danger." The elves gathered around, worried. Who could possibly take Blitzen's place at the last minute? Jasper's heart began to race. This was his chance. He trained every day, running through the snowy fields of the North Pole, practicing his takeoffs and his landings, hoping that one day Santa would notice him. And now Christmas needed him more than ever. Without hesitation, Jasper stepped forward. "Santa," he said, his voice trembling but steady, "I can help. Let me pull the sleigh tonight. I've been practicing and I know I can do it." The other reindeer looked at Jasper with surprise. He was much younger and smaller than the rest of the team, but Santa saw something in Jasper's eyes. Determination and a heart full of Christmas spirit. Santa smiled warmly. "You're a brave little reindeer, Jasper," he said, stroking his beard thoughtfully, "and Christmas could use a bit of bravery tonight." He turned to the elves and gave a nod. "Harness Jasper up. Let's give him a chance." The elves worked quickly, adjusting the harness to fit Jasper. He could hardly believe his dream was coming true. He would get to pull Santa's sleigh and help save Christmas. As Jasper was strapped in, Dasher leaned over and whispered, "Are you ready for this, kid? It's a big job." Jasper took a deep breath and nodded. "I've been waiting my whole life for this," he replied with a smile. The sleigh was loaded, the reindeer were ready, and Santa climbed aboard with a hearty "Ho, ho, ho!" The stars above twinkled brightly as the magical night began. On Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer, on Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner, and Jasper, Santa called out, and with a burst of energy, the sleigh took off into the night sky, gliding through the snowflakes as the North Pole disappeared below. At first the flight was smooth. Jasper kept pace with the older reindeer, his heart racing with excitement. But soon they encouraged a fierce winter storm, and the winds howled and the snow came down so thickly that it was hard to see the rooftops below. Dasher shouted through the wind, "We need to slow down. The storm is too strong." But Santa's sleigh was behind schedule, and they needed to keep moving to make sure all the children received their gifts by morning. Jasper knew that if they didn't find a way through the storm, Christmas could be delayed. At that moment, Jasper remembered something his mother had told him when he was a fawn. A true Christmas spirit shines brightest when things seem the darkest. Jasper's nose may not have glowed like Rudolph's, but he had something else. his courage. "I'll lead us through," Jasper called out over the howling winds. "I know the North Star is up there guiding us. Follow me," and with a burst of confidence, Jasper surged ahead, keeping his eyes on the faint glow of the North Star, which peeked through the swirling clouds. The other reindeer trusted him and they followed his lead, relying on his sharp instincts and steady heart. Through the storm they flew, and slowly but surely the blizzard began to clear. Soon the skies were calm again and the sleigh glided smoothly over the snowy rooftops below. Santa beamed with pride as they soared over the city after city, delivering presents to children all around the world. Thanks to Jasper's bravery, Christmas was saved. The sleigh touched down back at the North Pole just before dawn, and Santa's team cheered for the newest hero. "You did it, Jasper," Comet said, patting him on the back. "You saved Christmas." Jasper blushed with pride as Santa stepped down from the sleigh. He approached the young reindeer, his eyes twinkling with gratitude. "Jasper," Santa said, "you showed true courage tonight. When the storm was fierce and the night was dark, you didn't give up. You led us through with the light of your heart. You've earned your place on this team." From that night on, Jasper was no longer just a young reindeer watching from the sidelines. He became a full member of Santa's sleigh team, and every Christmas Eve he flew with pride along Dasher, Dancer, and the others. But the greatest gift of all was the lesson Jasper had learned, that even the smallest and youngest among us can make a big difference when we believe in ourselves and act with courage. The lesson this story teaches children that no matter how small or inexperienced they may feel, they can still make a big difference in believing in themselves and showing courage when it matters most, just like Jasper, who saved Christmas with his bravery and determination. We all have the power to shine, especially when we trust our instincts and step forward in times of need. Isn't that incredible, boys and girls? So much fun. Never give up. Never give up. Ho, ho, ho! Santa loves you.